The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a complex and long-standing issue. It has its roots in the early 20th century. At that time, the area known as Palestine was under British control. Tensions were rising between the Jewish and Arab populations living there. Both groups felt a strong connection to the land. Both groups had historical and religious claims. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a plan to divide Palestine. This plan would create two separate states, one Jewish and one Arab. The Jewish leadership accepted the plan. However, the Arab leadership rejected it. They believed it was unfair. They felt it favored the Jewish population. In 1948, Israel declared independence. This sparked the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. Neighboring Arab countries went to war with Israel. The war resulted in a victory for Israel. It also created a massive refugee crisis. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians fled or were forced from their homes. This event is known as the Nakba, meaning catastrophe in Arabic. The 1948 war had a lasting impact. It deepened the divide between Israelis and Palestinians. It also raised questions about land ownership and the right of return for refugees. These issues remain unresolved to this day. The Six-Day War of 1967 was another turning point in the conflict. Israel emerged victorious from this war. It captured significant territories. These included the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, East Jerusalem, the Sinai Peninsula, and the Golan Heights. This victory had major consequences for both sides. Israel's victory led to its control over the West Bank and Gaza Strip. These territories were home to a large Palestinian population. This control became a source of ongoing tension. Palestinians living in these areas faced military occupation. They had limited autonomy and faced restrictions on their movement and rights. Israel returned the Sinai Peninsula to Egypt in 1979 as part of a peace treaty. However, it annexed East Jerusalem and the Golan Heights. This annexation was not internationally recognized. The international community largely considers these areas to be occupied territories. The Six-Day War had a profound impact on the lives of Israelis and Palestinians. It further complicated efforts to find a peaceful resolution. It led to the displacement of more Palestinians. It also led to the expansion of Israeli settlements in the occupied territories. These issues remain central to the conflict today. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is driven by several key points of contention. These issues have fueled the conflict for decades. They continue to pose significant obstacles to peace. Land ownership is a central issue. Both sides have historical and religious claims to the same land. The displacement of Palestinians in 1948 and 1967 further complicates this issue. The question of whether refugees have the right to return to their former homes remains a major sticking point. The expansion of Israeli settlements in the West Bank is another major obstacle to peace. These settlements are considered illegal under international law. Their presence is seen as an obstacle to the creation of a viable Palestinian state. The status of Jerusalem is one of the most sensitive issues. Both Israelis and Palestinians claim Jerusalem as their capital city. The city holds immense religious and historical significance for both sides. Finding a solution that accommodates the aspirations of both Israelis and Palestinians remains a challenge. International recognition of a Palestinian state is another point of contention. The Palestinian Authority, which governs parts of the West Bank, has sought full membership in the United Nations. However, this effort has faced opposition from Israel and its allies. Efforts to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict have been ongoing for decades. However, a lasting peace remains elusive. The complexities of the conflict, coupled with a lack of trust between the parties, have hampered progress. The two-state solution has been the most widely supported framework for peace. This solution envisions two states for two peoples, an independent Palestinian state alongside the State of Israel. However, the two-state solution has faced significant challenges in recent years. The expansion of Israeli settlements, the status of Jerusalem, and the issue of Palestinian refugees remain major obstacles. The collapse of peace talks and the outbreak of violence have further dimmed hopes for a negotiated settlement. The international community plays a crucial role in mediating the conflict. However, its efforts have often been met with limited success. The United States in particular has significant influence but has struggled to broker a lasting peace agreement. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a tragedy for both sides. It has resulted in countless lives lost and untold suffering. Finding a just and lasting solution is essential, not only for the people of Israel and Palestine, but for the stability of the entire region. Until then, the century of struggle continues.